I'm Crickets, and welcome back to I Have a Story. I want to wrap up the week here with something a little different. This was a thought that I had, and I'm sharing this because I haven't heard anybody else say it. And while I have no way to prove that it's true, but it's something we ought to at least look at and consider, and for people who can prove it to possibly look at this. We already know that a lot of our navigation systems, most of us know what a compass is, and most of us know how a compass works. It picks up the magnetic field of our Earth, and that's how a compass functions. So, as our polarities are changing and as our magnetic field is becoming disrupted, is it possible that that's disrupting our navigation equipment? Again, I have no proof. Until somebody says something and people start looking, we don't have full answers. Part of why I don't always believe the answers that I get, even from professionals. We have people who are thinking a one-track mind, or even a couple people who are all thinking the same. We need people from the outside. That's part of what individuality was all about. We all share ideas, and we communicably together figure out problems. Today we live in a world where, just leave it up to the professionals. They know what they're doing. I don't mean to put anybody down by any means, but that is reality. So as we know that, the magnetic field is changing, and we know the magnetic field controls a lot of our navigation equipment, and obviously there's more navigation equipment on a plane than just a compass, but a lot of those work off of the same magnetic field theory of a compass. So it makes me question, with magnetic fields changing, is it possible that any of that is playing a role with any navigational equipment? Maybe, maybe not. But it's still a thought and something that should be investigated and at least thought about. And especially if our fields continue to shift and move further, we really need to focus on and pay attention to and at least monitor. It's so easy in the world that's become so corrupt today. I mean, God, isn't what our country has become and what our world has become, isn't all this modern change just so wonderful? Created more problems and more problems between the people. It's what it's done. Part of why I like to keep it simple. Keep it simple, there's less problems. But I ran off track there. Now I got to figure out what I was thinking. I know, there's different places in our planet that the magnetic field's have been claimed to be disrupted and compasses don't work in certain places. Obviously, and there's 2 points I wanted to add in here that I was thinking about, and I just thought about this morning. One, we watch so many movies, and one of the recent plane crashes they claim was because the door was open. And we watch so many movies, hundreds of movies are made where airplanes are flying through the air and the doors are open and they fly just fine. That really plays a role in the mentality and the views and the thinking of people after you've watched it repeatedly in a movie, and it starts impacting your brain, and you start thinking, oh, it's okay. Makes me question, with the door open, how they were able to take off and how it ended up causing the plane to crash. It's things that I don't understand and I'd like to. But the other thing I was going to point out is it's so easy today with the world of corruption that we want to keep blaming other people. Oh my God, let's live in fear of terrorists because it must have been a terrorist who did it. What is it? What if it was something as simple as our magnetic fields that are disrupting our equipment? I've tried keeping up with these investigative reports on the plane crashes from the actual investigator. They keep coming out and making public statements to their findings, and one of the things I found confusing was when they were talking about the DC crash and the helicopter. When they gave the report, they said the helicopter had a ceiling max height of 200 feet, but it was at 300 feet, so it wasn't the helicopter's fault because he was within his safe distance. Well, no, if he's not allowed above 200 feet and he was at 300 feet, that's 50% higher than he was by code allowed to go. She, he, whoever was behind piloting the copter. So, was it possible that any of the equipment was being disrupted because of our polarity and the different things we have going on just all around us? We've created more and more stuff, and more stuff interferes and has interferences and possible interferences with other things. So much in this world we could look at that could cause problems. But at the same time, our magnetic field is one we know. We know it's shifting, it's changing. We know our navigation equipment runs off of it. I think it's something we should at least monitor and keep an eye on and see as the magnetic fields. I don't know how far they'll shift. Nobody knows what it's going to happen. But as it continues to take place, I think it's something we at least need to look at and monitor. Well, there was my thought for the day, and I thought I'd share that one with you, and let me know what you think.